Pop Squat, coming at ya. Look, I've got a different shirt on today, I think, than yesterday. It's funny because I have these shirts and I button it all the way up to the top because that's like the it's dorky, it's funny. I don't usually button my shirt all the way up to the top, but I do it for the channel because it's I thought it was a really goofy, stupid thing to do, to have, white middle-aged dude fully buttoned up listening to rap music. I hope anybody else thinks that's funny because I do it every day and I have no idea why, because I did it the first day just like I did this, Pop Squat, and I just kept doing it. Had absolutely no plan to do any of those things. Anyway, I wanted to listen to another BTS song today, and I didn't think I was going to. I actually had a completely different song I was going to do, and then I thought I should do a Snow the Product song because she's in town tonight. I'm in Seattle, and I wanted to go see her, but there's no way I can deal with the smoke. I have a pathological hatred of smoke, and I'm not too excited about going out. Still in a pandemic, which, yes, we're still in a pandemic. We're gonna be forever. Is that when it becomes endemic? I forget. Anyway, the song I wanted to listen to, because I just happened to see it on my computer, because I had it open with 7 billion other songs that I have open. Seriously, it slows down my computer. I have so many tabs open. Is Hip Hop Lover from 2014's Dark and Wild release from BTS, which has a really cool looking album cover, or CD cover, whatever. I'm just going to call it an album cover. I really like the graphic design on that, and the overall design. I thought it really, really looked like a cool looking album. I like this song, and I wanted to do this song because it specifically... Well, there's a few reasons. They actually bothered to make this song about hip-hop and the people who created it and who came before them and who created this entire genre of music and made it popular and added their own voices to it and made it something that wasn't just about having fun and having a good time. It was about, in a lot of cases, a social message. Conscious lyricism was the term back in the 80s that started with the song Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five with Melly Mel. The Message. Absolutely classic song. If you've never heard it, I've reacted to it on the channel. I loved it. I loved it even back in the day. I remembered hearing it. It's one of those really long songs, and it's still just a great song. But I really, really appreciate that BTS went back and not only knows these old groups who were around, like, either when they were kids or before they had even been born, and they know about them, and they are kind of giving credit where it's due, and I really appreciate that. And I have nothing to do with any of it, right? But I do appreciate it as a fan of music to have anybody who's in music give credit to the people who came before, or in any sort of field of study, right? Nobody just starts day one making music not having been influenced by anything that came before, and I think this is a really cool thing to do for a song. And I know they have 3 of the members are rappers, the others are vocalists, and yeah, I just think it's great. So I wanted to hear it, and I want to hear what they have to say and who they talk about. I looked at a little article that had a bit of a recap on it, and I read through some of that. So it seemed really interesting. They mentioned NWA and Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and I'm trying to think who else, but I know they're all mentioned in the song. So I am totally down to listen to this. I think I'm going to do another video tonight too, I was going to do it at the end of this song and just do two songs in one, but I realized that probably would kind of be annoying. And please come back and listen to the second song. It's not hip hop. I'm totally breaking my own rule, but I'm breaking it because I think it's a completely new style of music, and I think it's really cool. And it's very different than what we normally listen to here, but I just wanted to share it because I thought it was a really cool song. And it's not in English, it's in Spanish because it's from a Mexican group, but we'll get to that. So right now, let's jump into BTS Hip Hop Lover. I don't know how loud my speakers are, so I might have to turn them up. Let's go. 4 minutes 17 seconds, like I said, from 2014.
People wonder why we love this H-I-P-H-O-P shit. Why we got so much.
Okay, this picture of them. Okay, so this was 2014. I don't know when this picture was taken. Well, probably the same time. That would have been, what year are we? 2022. So 8 years ago. Oh my god, they really do all look so young. Like, crazy young. It's kind of funny. I like this RM's jacket. That's kind of cool looking. I'm not sure if I would wear that, but it's cool looking.
It was a new world. 평소에 그리 나시나 그저 길은 내게 심청이 마냥 다가와 내가 못 뜨던 새 눈을 뜨게 해 Boy, people keep.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna have to. Sorry, got a runny nose. It's chilly out. I'm gonna have to back this up because I have to figure out which lyrics I'm going to be reading because I really don't know what's what here.
People wonder why we love this H-I-P-H-O-P shit. Why we got so much Yasmin's culture. Tell me.
It was a new world. 평소에 그리 나시나 그저 길은 내게 심청이 마냥 다가와 내가 못 뜨던 새 눈을 뜨게 해 Boy, people keep asking baby why you love that hip hop shit. 그럼 나는 말해 이유 뭐래 없어 cause it's hip hop. 별거 없어 에픽한 난
Why do you love that hip hop shit? Because it's hip hop. That's pretty funny. I understand it, but it's funny.
hip hop shit. 그럼 나는 말해 이유 뭐래 없어 cause it's hip hop. 별거 없어 에픽한 난 불처럼 Jay-Z Nas 클래식한 일렉과 또 더블 스타일. In my mind don't press one go ready to die. Eminem과 The Chronic과 그 다음 명작 2001 Dexter Blackstar LP rockin' P rockin' see Elsmoon this is deep poppin' that was nuts.
Wow, really great and great choices for who he's rapping about. I listened to not everybody on that list, which is interesting. Yeah, that's very cool.
My mind don't press one go ready to die. Eminem과 The Chronic과 그 다음 명작 2001 Dexter Blackstar LP rockin' P rockin' see Elsmoon this is deep poppin' that was nuts. 아주머니 그때 나 아주머니 할 말이 많았어 남들이 해주는 얘기도 부족하다 느꼈지 일단은 억지 거지 덕수발라 가사 락치고 서지 That was it, that was it 내가 된 시점 하수 지사의 백지 모두 아는 날 잠시 기워 그리고 지웠어 비웠어 빛 위에서만큼은 난 자유로 7년 전이나 지금이나 똑같아 이게
Huh. Really interesting transit. I love the rapping. I mean, really excellent. I'm not. So was that Jungkook who was just rapping there? Is that why they are color coding this? Let's see. That was a minute 9. No, that was RM. Okay. So now this must be Jungkook who has the chorus that comes on here. I like the hip hop. I mean, just the using that lyric. It's a really kind of a cool. It's not call response, but I can absolutely see how on stage, everybody would just be yelling that, right? And it would just be a blast. And it's a really cool little accent to the song, and it tells you exactly what the song is about, which is cool.
힙합 몸무를 느끼며 게이팜 부갈로 킹타 올스쿨 리듬 타 백해 외탁의 람과 혀를 밀착 두각을 나타내 지금은 랩 댄스 교재 팝의 롤 모델 다 듀퍼 보이 해피카이 서툰 날 이력 써서 무명계 무대를 fly 아무것도 모른 날 일으켰지 매일 내 맘을 울린 아티스트 링 몸으로 표현만 했었던 비교와 투팍의 나스나도 하나같이 호월 내 세상을 만들기 전에 거월 그가 금요일 밤을 비출 때부터 더 영감을 받고 써가는 고금 맥밀러 가는 개들 그들의 음악은 내 귀에 부딪혀 매우 미쳐 가게 텐들을 잡
So this is J-Hope. I'm so happy that this video is put together the way it is, because there is no way that I would ever be able to identify which is which, at least not at this point. Again, a great performance. But I'm really curious like what it was for J-Hope, because he's the guy rapping, and I assume he wrote this section. I mean, he must have, right? I'm curious about what it was in the music and the lyrics of Nas and Biggie and Tupac that spoke to him. When those guys were big and unfortunately still alive, not that it was unfortunate that they were alive, but it was unfortunate that they got killed and are not still alive. That's when I was in my 20s. So he would have been either nothing or tiny. I mean, 1, 2 years old? I don't know when he was born. So I'm really curious of what it was that music from a New York City, inner city rappers who had grown up as black men in America under a completely racist system at a time when people were nowhere near as sensitive or socially conscious as they are now. Like, what was it that spoke to him about that? Was it just that he identified with the struggle of trying to find yourself, trying to put yourself out there, trying to be the best at what you do? Like, what was it? And I'm not questioning the honesty of it, right? Like, my background is in English and literature and writing, and for me, the only way you can know the truth about something is if somebody tells you that. And until you know it's not the truth, you believe that that's the truth, because that's the information you have. So I'm really curious what it is that he found and liked and that inspired him to make music, and to obviously also bring that sort of level of social consciousness to their music as a group. I'm not going anywhere with that. I'm just really curious as to what it was that spoke to him, because I think that's super interesting to find out, to know. And there's just so many differences between inner city black African American from New York guy in his 20s compared to a South Korean kid 20 years later who also wants to be making music. Like, there's a big cultural differences there, and I'm super curious as to what it was that stood out and made the music important to him.
받은 내 삶의 최고의 뮤지션 끝없는 딕션 alright 내 본능이 골라 어떤 랩이든 어떤 춤이든 감각적인 내 교감 이제 내 삶 속의 공간은 힙합으로 녹아 오늘도 wild for the night 내 몸을 feel like H.
I really like his voice too. I don't think that was the guy. No. Who did I watch the other day? Was it? Oh, Suga. Was. See, I can't. August D. That song. Deshwida. Deshwida. I'm sorry. I don't know how to say that word. But yeah, Suga by far is the guy with the voice that I think stands out the most for me. And but I really like J-Hope in that line or that section. Love it. I'm serious. I can just hear that at a concert, and it would be just amazing to hear. Just like thousands of people screaming that would be so cool. I like that break a lot. 힙합은 찾아왔어 살며시 어린아이가 엄마를 찾듯이 자연스럽게 내 삶에 스며들었지 그 당시에 초등학생뿐이었던 나 그제서야 꿈을 재단해 Wanna rap 내가 빙자 삶이 혐오했던 꼬맹이의 족감 주위의 모두가 붙잡고만 하더라도 내 안에서 자리를 고수해 힙합은 날 송두리째 뒤집어 나 그 어린아 교과서 기퉁이에 적어 내렸던 나 16bird 덕분에 난 안 죽는 삶 뿌리치고 갔던 대구 남산동의 작업실에 날 던지고 밤새도록 가렸던 무슨 팬츠가 날 노래 끝에 난 결국 학창 시절에 받는 언수 왜 택시내서 뺏고 템포 같은 라임도 네 dream come true 주위에서 다들 묻지 힙합이 뭐냐고 당당히 답을 하지. This is easily my favorite section of the song, both the music and his voice, obviously, but the music in this section is really, really cool. I absolutely love it. 나의 전부라고 결과 내 인생 자체를 음악 안에 펴묻었어 이 문화를 사랑했으라면 난 골 100번은 넘게도 죽었어 심장을 뛰게 해 내가 진짜 남기고 싶게 해 Yeah, love this 사랑은 새가 나는 인생으로서 내려가는 이제는 삶의 일부가 돼 It's mine Oh, that's the end. Yeah, it's great. I really like that. I really like the end of that song. I mean, the last section with Suga, just great. The music in that part was fantastic. Yeah, really kind of cool, and I like that they did that. I just that's the part of it that I think is really cool, and absolutely some of that is because I've mentioned this in the comments, and then maybe I mentioned it in the video. There's some Southern rappers, or at least their fans, I maybe shouldn't say it's the Southern rappers themselves, but there probably are some who think this, that don't want to give credit to the people who actually created this music because they feel like, oh no, it's music, it just exists, so we can just use it. And to an extent that's true, but you really should give credit to the people who created it, even if you're a stupid racist moron who doesn't like black people and doesn't like Hispanic people and doesn't want to give them any credit. That just makes me not want to listen to your music because you're a racist idiot. I really like this song. There you go. I also, I really want to find out what it is about hip-hop that speaks to all of them, because it's the cultures are just so different. And again, I know almost nothing about the Korean culture, and anything I really know about them would be assumptions based on the very little that I know about Japan and China, which I have been to, and those are the only two Asian countries I've been to. And I'm wondering if it's the rebelliousness of it, which all kids I shouldn't even say kids, all people have in them. Everybody wants to rebel and do something different. And from what I know of many Asian cultures, and I don't know if this is true in Korea, is sort of the pressure that can be put on young people to do something that they may not actually have a passion for or an interest in, or yeah, no, those are the right terms. They could be good at it, and they may just not be interested. So who knows? Maybe they wanted J-Hope to be a doctor, right? And he didn't want to do that. He wanted to dance and write music, and I can see how that part of hip hop would have spoken to him, because he would have known it would be possible to do that, assuming he had talent, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a good thing he tried, and it's a good thing that music was there, because otherwise he may never have done that, right? This is one of the things that I just love about music, and music in the modern day, when it can literally travel around the world from my apartment, right? From anybody's apartment. You can put something on the internet and anybody could see it, and we have this free exchange of information over the internet that has only existed for the last 20 or 30 years, that is completely changing the way all cultures are going to develop from now on, because we are not isolated by geographical regions. We are not isolated by distance. We are not isolated by the, like, who we can be friends with, or who we can talk to, or who we can just know. It's going to be really interesting in the next decades to couple hundreds of years to see if, like I think, there's some people in the world who think it's okay to tell other people how to live, say Christians in America, say, any religious extremists anywhere around the world, who think it's okay to tell other people how to live their lives based on what they think. And the other part of the world are people who just want to exist and do what they want to do, and think everybody else should be the same and get that same level of respect and ability to be themselves, and as long as it's not hurting somebody else, and as long as there's consent involved if there is a question about do you want this or not, right? It's just, it blows my mind that people can't comprehend that. Any person who's not what I would label a fascist, meaning thinks they have the ability to tell somebody else how to live their lives and thinks they should be able to do that. I forgot what I was saying, but I think that's the two types of people in the world, and I think it's just going to get either worse and worse, or it's going to get better and better, because the people who all want to just live their lives and do what they want to do, I think there's more of us, and I think we will get along better than the people who want to tell everybody how to live their lives. And there you go. That's, again, I've been talking a lot about this sort of thing, and that's because, I've been alone for the last 2+ years and had a lot of time to think, and I hate sleeping, so I am awake a lot, and I give this stuff a lot of thought. There you go. I really thought this was cool. I thought it was cool from the concept of it, and then the song itself is also really cool. So this is an absolute winner for me, and I would love to hear, not necessarily more stuff like this, but I would like to find out more about what it is that they found inspiring about hip-hop, and why they pursued it with such fervor. Really super interesting. Super, super interesting. That's it for right now. Not it for today. come on back in just a couple minutes, and I'm going to put up this second video. It is completely unlike anything else that we've listened to an extent. It is music. But I just wanted to share it. And I probably am not going to have too much to say about it. I've got a little bit of information that I do want to share about it. So come on back, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Pop Squat. Check it out. That was fun.